Hey y'all, it's Carmen with Real Life Real Wife, and I'm here for my first tutorial, I guess you would say. I figured while I'm in the middle of making everything, I had never seen anybody do this. I just so happened to be at the Dollar Tree looking for something that I can make unique embellishments with, and I happened to see, and if you've watched my one of my last hauls, that I actually hauled this trim, the garland. It's 9 foot from Dollar Tree. And it had these little eyeballs on it. And I thought, I think I might can do something with that. Now, if somebody has done this and y'all want to correct me below, let me know. I don't mind giving somebody credit. Although, I have not seen anybody do it. So, I decided I'm going to do it. And this is going to be in steps. So, as I'm creating, I will start and stop the video. Hopefully it won't take too much editing, but we shall see, since that this is my first one. And basically I've got an old scrap of cardstock. I don't want to use my good stuff, but I don't have to, but the back is good. But I had spilled a little alcohol there, so, and some scratches around it. So I figured I took the bad side, faced it up, because it's going to be covered up. And the back should be fine and clean. And I apologize if I'm getting too close to y'all. But anyway, so basically I just cut these off. And I'm trying to do at least, you know, the pairs. And so that, you know, I can include them in some embellishments for a swap. And no, that's the bad spot, so I don't want to go there. And I'm trying not to get too close. I'll come back in a minute. I'm just going to get that laid down. I'll come back in a minute and you know, use my bone folder to make sure it's down real good. And I don't know if y'all are like me, but I am paranoid about my projects coming apart. I know what happened back when I was doing hair bows. I used to sell hair bows on eBay. And I had, let's see if I can get that one scooched in a little bit more so I can have some space. I had somebody order, turned out she was local, and we knew mutual friends. And so we got to get to know each other and talk, but she bought some hair bows from me. And after we started talking, she told me, she said, oh, I just take the bows and I just throw them in the washing machine. And I went, oh, no, you don't throw the bows in a washing machine. You're supposed to hand wash them. She goes, I don't have no problem with it. And so I just became paranoid of what people will do with my items once I create them. And I just don't want them falling apart. Thank goodness I didn't just glue my hair bows. I sewed them as well. And I was serious about making sure they stayed because I want a good product. And so I think that's how I got paranoid. Thanks, Michelle. I got paranoid thanks to her, but they have always held up, and I'm, you know, thankful for that. But after that, it got me thinking, wow, that could be scary. Now, with that real quick, that's basically all I did. I'm going to take, like I said, I was going to give it a few minutes and just kind of, you know, make sure this is down good. And I'm going to share this real quick. And that is because everybody has asked me when I hauled this, please let them know if it works. Big shout out to Monica with I'll Make It Crafts. I will leave her link in the description box below because she's been sharing about this, and I definitely think everybody needs to know about this product. And yes, it does work. Yes, it is a lifesaver, and yes, it saves many projects. One catch: don't rub hard because it will tear up your paper. But if you just give it a light scrub, you know, just like a little, you know, just a little eraser, it's amazing, and I highly recommend it. Now with that, I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to let this dry a little bit, and I'm going to see about my next step. Okay, so once you have taken all your little eyeballs and you have glued them down to your cardstock, now, warning, you'll see in the next clip that I had some issues with the different types of glues, but I will let you know that. So, once you have them all glued down and they are adhered and you know they're staying, you're just going to punch them out of your white cardstock. Now, for me, I needed the smaller ones to go into an embellishment box. I would have preferred actually using the larger one because I like the bigger size. But problem is with that one, if I used, this is the 1.5 inch. If I used this, it left a white cardstock border. So you could see that. If you like that, that's your call. You could do it either way. I did not, at this time, did not want the border. I may do some more later that I'm okay with that and add some more. But as you can see, this was a big trial and error for me. And in doing that, I had to learn what not to do. And so I ended up using the 1 inch hole punch, circle punch. And I basically got this at Hobby Lobby. I think it was a pack of 3. And I bought it for half off. And I don't remember the price or anything, but I'm sure if y'all don't have it, you've seen it. If you have any questions, just let me know. But yeah, get them glued down. Make sure they're good and dry before you punch them out. Punch them out, and then we'll move on to the next. Okay, the next step is I'm going to use this triple thick. And I had gotten this off of Amazon. I think it was $7 and something, right at 8. And I had gotten this... I cannot remember the name. It could be Birdie's Glitter Nest or something like that. But I'll leave her link down in the description box below. So if you love anything sparkly, she's definitely somebody to check out. She's been around for quite some time, so I'm sure you have. But I got this idea from her. And this is like an epoxy. It's a great clear coat. But it's not, you know, I don't have to worry about the 2 parts and all that kind of stuff. I don't know much about epoxy. But anyway, with this, you know, I put it on a little thick and I've got, you know, just an old brush and I'm just going to take it and roll it so it's not dripping too much. And I'm just going to add a little to it. Let's get that one over a little. And then I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to push it around. Not really painting. I'm just going to move it to the edges because it will level itself. Now the bad part about this is it does take time. So you know, if you do something like this, which is what I usually do, I will either start off that morning and do it, and then go on and move on to some other projects. So this way it's prepped and prepared for when I'm ready for it. But I just want to make sure it gets all around the edges. What I'm going to do is once I get all these done, I'm going to actually pick them up with my pick and move them over to another old folder that I don't need. So that, you know, once I'm done with this, I can just throw the folder away. But then that way it's not, see how it's, you know, this one's like dripping off. I put a little too much. So it's dripping off, so I don't want it to adhere and seal on this cardboard or the mat. And I did try to add some glitter lightly, you know, very fine glitter. And even though it's okay, it just, it took away from the actual eyeball. And I didn't want that. Excuse me. But I didn't want that. I wanted it to be a good, you know, just clear, like, you know, more realistic. So I tried that and I didn't like it. So I'm just going with, you know, just straight on. But yeah, that's all I'm doing is I'm just, you know, taking it and dabbing some on. And, you know, I've got nails. You can use tweezers or a little toothpick to help hold it down. And like I said, you don't have to paint it. You just push it around and reach the edges. And then if I didn't say this before, the reason why I have a different background is because I tried all the different glues. And none of them worked. I used glitter glue, and when I went to punch it, I'm not even sure what I'm doing right now. When I went to punch it, the paper, just because it's got a back plasticky, you know, it's kind of thin plastic, that when I went to do that, punch all the eyeballs out of the cardstock that I had glued it on, it peeled right off. And then I tried, that was art glitter glue, and then I also tried the Tombow mono glue. That didn't work. It did the same exact thing. And then I thought, okay, well, decoupage. If I put decoupage down and then I over decoupage it on top, then that will leave me a little, that will seal it, you know. Yeah, no, when you punch it, it breaks that seal, and it peeled off again. So, I ended up getting some of the little E6000 tubes and just kind of ran it around on new cardstock in a circle and popped them down. It was a little bit more difficult doing it the second go round, third go round. I don't remember at this point. So I'm telling you, the best way to go is go straight for. Oh, and I took on the back of the eyeballs, and I was very, very careful, because if I did it too much, it would take the print off. And so it would just be a clear piece of plastic. But I took a fingernail file that I had, and I barely just rubbed the back to kind of rough it up and give it surface for it to adhere to. And then I glued the E6000, the eyeballs down on with E6000. Now this is, I mean, I'll be honest, this is not a quick, easy project. And for me, it's trial and error. So now it won't be necessarily so much error or trial for y'all if you decide to try this. But it's not an easy, you know, quick project that you get satisfaction from it right now. It takes, you know, it's going to take a while. So, like I said, in between, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, set these aside, and then I'll go back to them tomorrow. While in the meantime, I'll be working on another project. Okay, so now we have the final result. I'm going to do a quick recap, because it's actually very simple. It's just I had a lot of issues with learning which glue would be the best one. So basically, I bought the trim, the garland from Dollar Tree, and it was the silver and white tinsel type and it had the little eyeballs, plastic eyeballs. And I cut them off, and I basically took E6000 glue, is what finally worked, and glued them down on just to a plain white cardstock. Then once I did that, I let that dry really good, and then I punched them out with the hole punch. I ended up ultimately using the 1 inch, but you can choose and figure out what size is best for you and your project. And then after that, I actually added the triple thick. And then I was sure to leave this one. Actually, I left it for a little while because I had other obligations I needed to do. So it was actually sitting there for a good day or two. And then before I got back to it. But ultimately, I just put my step 1, cut the eyeballs out and glue them down. Step 2 was to punch them out. And step 3 was to add triple thick. And I added the triple thick, and I don't know if you can see the final results, but now some of them I have issues with. I've lost a few. And some I need to do some trimming on them, but I think they turned out, and I'm hoping I can get this on here for you to see without too much glare. They really turned out pretty good. I mean, these would be great, like, well, if I get a chance, I'm going to show you what I plan on doing with it other than putting them in an embellishment box for somebody else. But there's the blue one. Here's the green one. Green eyeball. And now I did try the glitter. It did not work. It just completely drowned out That one was too much. This one was not near as much, and you could still see it. So if you like that glitter sparkle, that's fine. I just thought it kind of took away from the realisticness of the eyeball, and that's what I was going for. But anyway, yeah, so that's, that's basically my, final results of what I got them for. And I just think they can be used for several different things. And it's not, it's not your typical beady eye all the time, even though that's cute. It's just something different and out there. That's me. Well, thank you for watching, and I appreciate it. And if you like this video, please be sure to leave me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below. If you have anything that would help me the next time I'm doing something like this, or I have any pointers for somebody else, please let us know and leave a comment below. Be sure to subscribe, and as always, I wish you the best.